Control. The easiest way to get people to behave in a certain way, especially when you stand to gain something, is to exercise control. So let's talk about something that most of us don't want to admit, and that is business owners, CEOs acting like cult leaders. I mean, don't get me wrong. Sure, we look to the CEO to inspire us and to enroll us into the company's vision and mission so that we can go and do something meaningful together. I mean, if we're going to spend this much time working, we might as well work on something that we believe in and that we enjoy. But when you start wondering if this CEO has like a secret room with robes and candles, there might be a problem. And of course, I'm not saying that if CEOs say these things that they're automatically a cult leader. I'm just saying the lines might be blurred a little bit. And these ideas can be used to exercise control over thought to try to get you to do things that you wouldn't normally do, or sacrifice things like your precious time with friends and family and hobbies and life. And this channel's all about exploring freedom of thought in every aspect of life. So let's dive in. Let me ask you, have you ever noticed that every tech startup is changing the world? Yeah, because having an app on my phone that delivers my sushi via drone, that's changing the world. It seems like some company founders and CEOs want us to believe that we're like involved in something divine, something that has never been done before. We're not just a company, we're creating a movement. We're changing the world. Oh, really, Elon? Why don't you just ask me to work weekends and then we can get on with it? When you start hearing a CEO or a company founder throwing around terms like changing the world or doing something that's never been done before or making history, maybe that's true, or maybe we're just building a thing that people want to buy and we want to do it really, really well. So when you start hearing these phrases, just know you might be asked to sacrifice your soul, or maybe your nights and weekends. Okay, this is a fun one. Let's talk about loyalty. What are we loyal to? You'll often hear CEOs or company founders say things like, we value loyalty around here. So let's first talk about what employment is, and then let's talk about what we're loyal to. See, employment is an agreement. I agree to do my best work for what we say we're going to accomplish if you will give me a paycheck, if you'll give me a cool project to work on, if you will give me a place that I can use my talents to create something in the world. Let's not make it bigger than what it is. Now, what I'm loyal to is our agreement. It doesn't mean loyalty, I give you everything that I have, that you can require anything of me and you can ask anything of me and it's expected of me in order to keep this agreement or keep this employment. This idea of loyalty is so interesting, especially when we ask ourselves this question. If the CEO that I work for had to make a financial decision between not taking a paycheck for themselves and letting you go, what are they going to decide? What decision are they going to make? And where does the loyalty lie then? And I'm not saying it's wrong to let somebody go based on a financial decision, but let's just be honest about what it is that we're engaged in. Ah, yes, the old "we're a family" line. Well, does your family reward each other with love based on merit and accomplishments and contribution? Well, okay, that's probably not the best question to ask, but it's not functional. We're a family here at Zizzo Enterprises, and families stick together. Yeah, exactly. We're a family until somebody misses a deadline, they don't perform, or stocks plummet. Then we're not a family, then we're a financial institution that has to make financial decisions. So when a company or a CEO starts to blur the lines between family and business, you might want to start looking at what it is that's motivating them to use this line. Why would they be talking about us as a family rather than people who are contractually working together and who have made an agreement to build something together as long as it makes financial sense? Look, you already have a family. This is just the perfect setup to ask you to do things that might impede on the time and attention that you would normally give your real family. You ever heard a boss or a leader say something like, nobody does it like we do it, or we're doing something really special here. Right. Because you've clearly unlocked the secrets of the universe by implementing an open floor desk formation. If you left here, you would never find another opportunity like this one. Yeah, sure, I guess. I mean, every other company out there has got it just wrong. You know where else I often hear this rhetoric? Religion. Every religion wants you to think that they're special, that they have it exactly right, and everybody else is wrong. The reason that they do this is to create an us versus them mentality. It's a classic culty move. I mean, it prevents those who believe it from seeing that there's other opportunities or possibilities somewhere else. And if you went somewhere else, they would miss out on what they get from you. Your money, your time, your attention. The age-old idea of we have to sacrifice for the greater good. Nothing screams, you're gonna burn out and we don't care more than this idea. You have to be willing to bleed for this company. In order to do something great, we must be willing to do something that was never been done before. Look, we all wanna do a good job. We all wanna work on something that we think is meaningful or will give us a sense of accomplishment. But as soon as a leader starts romanticizing suffering for the greater good or for the mission or for the vision, asking you to give up things that you can never get back, well, that might be time to start reconsidering the things that you're doing and the people that you're doing them with. Sacrifice is cool and all when you're the star of a Marvel movie, but not when you're a middle manager on a Zoom call at 7 p.m. talking about whether or not the new website's performing. The "we are destined to succeed" speech from the CEO that inspires everybody. Well, guess what? Nothing's destined to succeed. Success is predicated on a lot of factors. It's how hard we work. It's the validity of our idea. It's, do people really want what we're making? And there's a bit of luck in there as well. So when you hear things like, we're on the path to revolutionize the world and nothing can stop us, well, I mean, an economic downturn could probably stop you. A pandemic could possibly stop you. A bad decision by the CEO could probably stop you. Anything can fail. And look, it's great to have confidence. It's great to believe in what you're up to, with a healthy dose of looking at reality, what we're actually doing, what could actually stop us, the pitfalls that we could fall into, and actually working with a good healthy view of this could fail can help us keep priorities straight. This company could fail and go away. We could be doing something totally different in 10 years' time, but I'll never get this moment back from being with my family. It's just when we start talking about these things being absolutes, it starts to sound a little bit like a Sunday sermon. Absolute belief in the product or culture. I mean, imagine this, and maybe you don't have to imagine, maybe you've heard this from CEOs or company founders talk about how the thing they're making is the best thing that has ever existed, or the culture that they have is the best thing that has ever existed. And if you question that, then you're not with them. You can absolutely draw a direct line from this way of thinking to cult thinking. We can't question what we're up to. We can't question the leader, or we can't question the leader's ideas. And when you do, you're against us. It's not looked at as critical thinking or an opportunity to refine what we're up to and make it better. It's that you're questioning their brilliance or their validity. It's a hit to the ego. And when those things can't be questioned, it's now become a dogmatic belief, not a product or a company. Well, you must not believe in the mission enough. Have you ever heard this? When somebody pushes back or draws a line or puts up a boundary, the leader says, well, you must not believe in what we're up to enough to be willing to sacrifice this thing. That's extortion. That's trying to get somebody to feel shame for not doing something that they don't believe that they should do, and using shame to motivate them to make decisions that they wouldn't otherwise make. This is a classic cult move. Shame is the most powerful tool that cult leaders and other leaders that try to coerce people into doing something, especially something that benefits them, it's the most powerful tool that they have. And the way that they inflict shame is by implying that the person is not worthy enough to be a part of what they're up to because of some sin or because of some lack of belief. And now you have to prove your belief by doing the things that they're asking you to do. Classic cult move. Okay, last but not least. Now this is not usually something that the leader or the CEO says, But this is something that you hear amongst the minions, the true believers, which is because so-and-so CEO said to do it, that's why we're doing it this way. You see, when an organization starts to make decisions based off of a single person's opinion, rather than off of the data or logical discourse, now we've entered the realm of personality leadership. This is somebody who wants to be right rather than get it right. This has basically become a corporate church. That person can say or do anything, and people are just expected to follow. So my friends, like I said at the beginning of this video, it's not that if a CEO or a company founder or a leader says these things, then they are running a cult or they're a cult leader. It's just that these things need to be kept in check. And it's up to you to think for yourself and notice if the lines are being crossed, then it's probably not a healthy place to be. And if you think that there's nowhere else for you to go, that's a really good sign that you're probably not in the right place. So tell me what you think. What did I get wrong? Which ones did I miss? And what would you add to the list? Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any future videos. And remember, the greatest fight to be fought is that for freedom of thought. Peace.